Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So today we have the eclipse going on. Some people reached out to me actually, and they're just like, energies are weird, what's going on? And I said, there's an eclipse. So be gentle with yourself if you are finding yourself just being moody or irritable, or not having the energy like you normally would. Sometimes it's best just to take it easy and allow things to settle and integrate the way that they're meant to. Two more, let me save this one and that one. All right, and they said 3 of these, so 2 just fell out and 3. Okay, so the way that the cards all landed, these 3 are upside down, and these 3 kind of went into a pattern or a spiral. And so they're telling me that this is the evolution of getting to whatever it is, that emotional disruptance or whatever is coming up for the eclipse, right? Because that's kind of what it does, is it puts us in alignment, and we do need to let go of some things. And let's just see what it says. So the first one that came out was the Earth and Air Dragon. It says, represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. To stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. But the thing with this card is it was in reverse. So something, and that's exactly what eclipses and all these are for, is when something is out of balance in us, it's just going to bring us right back. Because one time we can do something for protection and it worked, but then it kind of pulls us away, and before we know it, we're so unbalanced. We don't even know how we got there, but it was like baby steps. They're showing, I don't remember the name for it, but have you ever heard of that science experiment where they have like the water, the frog in the water? It's not a greatest visualization, but they subtly increase the temperature. And because the frog started off in a neutral place before it got to boiling, it didn't even realize that the gradual attempt that got it there until it was too late, until you're unbalanced. So how do we get unbalanced? How do we get back to balance? It says, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. That's exactly what because this is the Earth and Air Dragon. The Earth and Air Dragon, air is always, I always see it kind of like digital data, kind of in the ethers. And that's for us to like bring that information down. And then Earth is all about grounding, right? The Earth itself is solid, rock solid. And so we're here to bring this imaginary data, right, through us, and then create it and ground it here on Earth. So when you find yourself being very unbalanced, it's probably because you're not pulling your source, your energy, manifesting your dreams. It's more of a reaction and being pulled to where, okay, you just finished this task, now you got to go over here and do this. Sorry, just let me turn off the notifications, because it goes through phases. How do I make it quiet? I don't use this often. Like, nobody talks to me, and then all of a sudden, like, everybody talks to me. And I love it. Thank you for always thinking of me. But what were we just saying about? Yes, so that's being pulled, right? Those are external forces, and that's how you get unbalanced, because you're always supposed to stay centered, and you're supposed to above here into your heart and connect to the earth. So the next one, I don't know how to read these ones because it looks like the spiral goes this way, but this one's over top of it. So they're saying this is what you wanted, right? This was the evolution of what you wanted, but this is actually what you got. And so this I'm seeing is more of the hope or dream. This is more of the external that you got pulled to. Okay, so let's start with the hope and dream. The hope and dream was the golden orange dragon. And so I see first off the notebooks and the scribbling. It says, expand your light for ascension. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in needs. Remember your magnificence. And what you got. And what you got. So, okay, so that's actually, I never actually looked at the cards. I don't know, like, but look, this is what you wanted, and this is what you're going to get. This is what you got instead. And so this one was like, he wanted knowledge, he wanted information, right? He wanted, as it said, to ascend, right? Level up. I'm just seeing Mario after he eats the mushroom. Do, 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 do. And it says, be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. So it's like taking your knowledge from your experience and going out and helping those in a way. It's almost like because you've been through challenges. I'm seeing someone who got hurt. And because that person got hurt, they know how that feels. And because they are such a loving, kind heart, they never want others to go through the trials and tribulations that they had to go through. So, you know, they're trying to teach others and help lift them up along the way. But instead, what you got was golden crested dragon. Brings you higher love so that you can embody my throat, so that you can embody Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain in the fifth dimensional. Okay, I get it. So we started off with the earth and air dragon, which was all about being balanced and like following our hopes and dreams. It was saying to bring them and ground them here. And so by doing that, we thought we had to study and study and study and learn and learn and learn, right? Here, he's got his books, he's got his pen, he's just, you know, writing, like trying to absorb as much information, a sponge. I see a purple, I see an orange sponge. They're telling me that you guys are like Scotty's towels, just soaking and taking that and hoping that by you taking all this in, you're going to help others. And that was a beautiful thought to have. But what actually ended up happening instead is, you thought you had to do all this work to do the leveling. But what this eclipse is doing is it's just being. It's all the things that you kind of think you need to learn along the way has actually kind of kept it slower. Because, you know, you learn one thing, they're showing me astrology. You learn one thing, right? You can take a sign and you can go so into that sign. And then, you know, that sign has associated birthstones and body parts and, you know, just all these different things. What planet is associated with it? What is the symbolism from that zodiac sign to the tarot? Like, and that's just one sign. And so when you do that, then you expand to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. It's like your head's always in the book and that, but that they're showing me something like that kind of stuff is cool. It's fun. And I find that the perfect message always finds you at the perfect time. So it's, don't be like obsessive of needing to know all the facts, needing to have like all that, because when you actually embody the golden light, like I said, the right information will come to you. You will just know in the moment what to do. You don't have to have a full library of all this astrology stuff that's a little bit useless in this moment, right? You can read and you can do it for fun and just like, put it back there. But the more and more you try to like memorize these textbooks and these novels and that, they're saying that's a little bit counterproductive, because you're like, I need to learn, I need to absorb so I can help others. But the others are just going to spiritually bypass and connect to the light. That's the thing that this eclipse is all about. So there's one thing that you just overcomplicated. I want to say a little bit. They're telling me overcomplicated a lot of it. Yeah, they're just saying a lot of unnecessary fussing around on things that are frivolous, they're saying. So let's get to the last dragon card. And so this was in reverse, and it says, I'll just show you first. It's the lilac fire dragon, transmutes through the power of divine love. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. Now that one goes back to this. Ooh, sorry. Energy's coming. I was just thinking yesterday, I'm like, I used to always like twitch and like freak out when the energy came in because it was always so intense. And I was like, it hasn't happened in a bit. But I was just, there it was. I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. Okay, so when I was reading this one, and the purple flame, I definitely seen Saint Germain and the violet flame, which is very good at helping you transmute very negative, dense energies that with love. I find that especially when you work with Saint Germain's violet flame, it's love is intense. That's pretty much what it is. It's like hearts. The violet flame is like, the best I can explain it is like love, the intensity of love, right? Because love is intense. It's the highest frequency, but with the spiritual connection to it, which they're now saying you grabbed that card because you knew there was a connection, but now we told you why. What did I just say? Oh, because here it was about the bringing the data. I said like the air is almost like almost like the internet, like numbers and blah, 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 and you can pull this through you. But with the violet flame, that's what I'm seeing. Crown chakra, spirituality, pulling this energy in to the heart. So this eclipse, I almost said solstice. This eclipse is all about really, especially the season we're in, right? Aries, fire. So we got the lilac fire. We're at the tail end of before we step more into the light. Right now we're at the balance, and I don't even think we're at the balance anymore. It's now more light. And so I think it's like May 2nd, we kind of go into the next chapter, phase cycle. And so right now whatever you haven't quite processed, right? I see everyone working so hard and they've dealt with so much, but they've done it in a very logical way, right? If I do this, then this, and then this, and then this should happen. But it's just, they're just saying, we would love for you to be able to work on these little things because there is lessons in them, but there's just not time, and they're just not important to the next stage, the next lesson, it's just not important for the next part. So that's why there's a bit of intensity today. That's why some people are a little bit irritable. That's why some people are a little bit drained, because it is exhausting when you do energy work. And so, yeah, they're just, what I wanted to say when I read this, I saw a connection as well. I thought I turned this off. It did. It's on airplane mode and it's still sending me stuff. So interesting. This one said, be a peaceful warrior, help those in need, remember you're making, oh, I'm reading the wrong card. Be a warrior anyways, peaceful warrior. That's one of my favorite books, The Peaceful Warrior. You never know who is like a truly mastered, someone who's mastered their soul. They come in so many shapes of people. And so in that book, it was just and I talk about this book all the time, and I always will, because it really, I half watched the movie, I didn't finish it, but the book had descriptions. It's called The Peaceful Warrior, and in it, there's just this old man, and he works at a tire shop, and he's just a humble guy, but he's so wise, and so many people could overlook him. And that's what they're saying is like, you write and you write and you want to help all these people, but don't judge the people, because you truly don't know who has mastered a lesson, and they might be your teacher. Oh, that's what they're telling me. I'm seeing someone who always has to go and teach, but it's saying you get to learn, right? And yeah, everybody's going through their own soul lessons and their soul growth right now, that if we were to take that lesson from them, they wouldn't have gotten to where they were. So it's hard. It's a balance between letting others go through what they're meant to go through, and for you to learn from them as well. There's a bit more in that, but they'd say it's so individual to everyone. Everyone right now is thinking in so many different categories that it's hard to sum up into something else. So we're going to move on. But I still haven't even gotten to what I connected to. Lilac Earth. Nope, I don't know what I'm talking about. Here I am trying to be a teacher, but I'm like, nope, the words aren't even there on the cards, making shit up. Okay, so when I read this one, it said, open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. And then I saw this card when I was reading it, and it said, stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. But I thought it talked about the heart, but it talked about hopes and dreams. So what did this one say again? Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and love. So hope is the word that is on both of these. What do you want to share about hope? This one, they're showing the bubbles that he's going and he's talking to. Those are the wishes. That's him talking to spirit. Because you do have to ask for what you want. And the best way to do that is to connect and talk to your guides. But a lot of the time you can ask for what you want, but it's how you feel too. So if you want to be peaceful, you just got to imagine a peaceful situation. You want to be hopeful. Whatever this is, the real reason that they're asking for something is because it brings hope for the future. It gives him a purpose to wake up, get out of bed, and, see what cool, crazy, fun adventures that Spirit has in store for us. But so he did the bubbles. And then so this one, I saw it coming back. I see these ones falling to the earth, but as flowers. And so it's saying, if you have planted the seeds, if you had been strong enough to ask for help, let Spirit know what you want. Have the patience and the hope to know. I feel like hope is not the right for this part. Nope, it's not. They say take it out. So it's like taking out the weeds. They're showing me in sense of gardening. I'm showing them doing lots of weeding, but planting seeds as well. And so it's really knowing which one to pick and choose. And the more effort and the more love and the more heart that you give to it, that's when they're going to finally sprout or bloom. And those flowers, the wishes gave you hope to work for it, and then the buds and the seeds kind of give you hope into actualizing and grounding and manifesting it. But what they're telling me is like, nobody wishes just for the little bloom. I almost see like there's a bigger purpose behind it, right? Because whatever you wished for at the beginning, that was to help others. It was more on a collective community scale. So I almost see like someone taking like the flowers and like, I don't know, making essence or whatever, right? I just learned how to make your own vanilla extract. And I was like, that's not that difficult. But the difficult part was, well, the vanilla pods only come from a certain plant, and those only bloom every certain season. And I don't know, that's the hard part. They're just telling me the hard part is the weeding, because a lot of us keep giving energy to the weeds thinking that those are the flowers, and they're not flowers. They're actually choking everything out. And they're showing me at my old family's place, my dad grew some hops, and those hops overtook everything and almost choked out so many plants. They were such sorry, I feel like I got cat hair. They were such an invasive species that we couldn't keep them controlled or maintained. And so this is also a message for someone who has been using avoidance and alcohol. They said we picked hops for a reason. So if in this time, I don't want to tell you what to do, right? But it definitely wouldn't help if you are finding influences to help you be numb. These emotions and these things that are meant to come up is meant to be dealt with, to be weeded out, so that those flowers have the bloom. Because I keep seeing that it's whatever you do with the flowers after that is going to be. Oh, they just showed me so many different scenarios. Like somebody, right? I saw the essence. I saw using it more as medicine and tinctures. And then another one, flowers just grow and are pretty. And so I saw it being gathered into like a bouquet. So someone, like there's wedding bells coming. And so it's really working on that relationship and, you know, weeding out the past things or the triggers and the past hurt and those kind of things is what's going to get you to this happy completion with the bouquet. And then I see flowers just being like in a park, and I see someone helping an elderly, just like going for walks and things like that. And in that is the exchange of information. And by them feeling comfortable around all this beautiful nature and blooms, I see them feeling more confident and trusting in themselves to be open and pass on this knowledge that is so valuable and hidden. Not hidden, but they it's just something that they don't talk about when they're not feeling content or safe. That's the word, safe. So flowers, whatever these seeds, and your hopes and your dreams are these seeds. They're these flowers. And so I just thought of like 3 ways of what literal flowers can do. But yours is so malleable, they say. It's intense right now. So Hope. Hope is the word that they want to bring forth. So no matter what stage of the game you're at, sometimes we see others and they're so far on their journey that we're like, ooh, like I will never be there. But that's true if you don't start. And if the best time was to start, what's that saying? Yesterday. And since yesterday's gone, today's the day. Don't judge where you are on your journey, because there are some people who are just so natural. And that's another thing I see. On like a spiritual sense, someone thinking that they're a little bit more superior than someone else, or someone not feeling as superior as others. That's not true. And so everything is equal. And some people have had more life lessons. Some people have read more books. But what you have is life experience and common sense. I hope you have common sense, actually. Not everyone does. But that's the true nugget of wisdom. And so, yeah. That's weird. I always try to text this one person who texted me, because they don't have iPhone, and it will never let me, but I have it on airplane mode and everything off, and I still got the text sent through. Super weird. Okay, so I even had a whole nother set of cards, but I feel like the video's been long enough here. They said do it anyways, okay? Because I was like, maybe we'll make another video. These ones are going to be quick. This is simple past, present, future, they're telling me. Past, happy, happy, in reverse. So something not quite so happy. First thing I see is the balloons, and it reminds me of these. These are the hopes and wishes. What are you hoping and wishing for? In the past, you realized you could figure out what your wish or hope was by being in your sad space, right? When you are in somewhere that you don't want, you can kind of look up and be like, that's what I want. So don't dwell and stay there too long. What's the next one? Next one is a chance in the wind. A change in the wind, sorry. Change is good. Change is good. And so this card, they're bringing me back to this case. So this one in reverse, not happy, but change is coming. And then they're showing me this card goes in the middle. Not really happy, making those hopes and those wishes. This one says a change in the wind. This one was air. Air is all about the wind element. It says stay balanced, stay grounded. So really root, stay grounded. When you know what you want and you start to take root, right? You bring that information in through your crown chakra, in through the crown chakra, and you transmute that into golden creativity, right? You settle that into your heart. But after your heart, you really have to ground it into the earth. And so some people use visualizations as roots, right? You might have heard about grounding yourself and imagining roots coming out of your feet, or what's the red one? Root chakra. So when the wind does come, you are so solid that you're flexible now. Now these balloons she doesn't have to hold on to dear life for these dreams, because they've now taken root. Now they're strong. Now we're seeing the tree and the trunk and the foundation. The wind comes because it is calm underneath. It doesn't matter what happens on the top. The last card is time for a nap. It was in reverse. And what they're showing me with this, getting the chills and the such. I just watched a really cute video on Apple TV last night. And it was called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And it's just 30 minutes. It's pretty much like a Winnie the Pooh tale. But, oh, thank you. And I was like, that's what it reminded me of, like a Winnie the Pooh tale slash what it's like working with your spirit guides. Truly, yeah. So in it, it's this little boy and he's lost. And he comes along some friends along the way. And I don't want to wreck too much in case you feel drawn to go watch it. But yeah, the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. But what they're showing me is the fox. And in the show, the fox, he started off an enemy. But the only reason why he was an enemy, or he felt the need to attack or be on defense, is because, well, that's kind of their nature. But later on, he kind of shares some things about himself, that he actually had some insecurities within himself that made him not feel like he could be part of the group. And so even towards the end, he still kind of struggled with it. And so what do you want me to tell about this without wrecking the show? He did find himself in a situation that wasn't ideal, not happy. And so he did need to change his perspective in the show. There are some groups that came along to help him, and they faced a fear. And by them facing a fear, he was kind of curious. He was like, what exactly is this all about? And so the picture here reminds me of the very, very end scene. And I don't want to tell you what the end scene was, but by admitting insecurity or the doubts or the whatever it is that we say within ourselves, it's that self-negative talk. And so from that talk, that makes you feel disconnected from others. What about that though, Spirit? They said, look at your cards and we'll show you which one. They said this one. Ooh, yeah. I got so much goosebumps. I don't even... Hello, Coopy-Doo. Okay. So for this fox, who actually went and finally faced his fear, admitted to the group his deepest feelings that made him just insecure. And this insecurity kept him alone and isolated. And from that, it says, by facing that, it will bring you to a higher love so that you can embody the golden light. And so this card is all gold. And this card's all gold. Seeing the purple flame coming in, the violet flame, and really I see, okay, first I see a heart that's like black, and that's all the insecurity and all the times that it wanted to just be its natural state, and it said, no, you can't have this. So it put on a shell, it built a wall, it kind of diminished itself. So now I'm seeing just like a purple heart, we'll say, but it has like black spots in it. And the black spots is the things that we're working through. These are the emotions that have to go. So when you bring in the purple flame, and they're saying not everybody's insecurities are in their heart. It's somewhere in your body. So if you pay attention to your body and the feelings and sensations that you get through, what does that represent? Because everything that pain in our body represents something emotional that we've gone through. I'm trying to think of an example, but I'm having a hard time. Because the things that I can only think of right now is just for myself, and I don't really want to talk about myself right now. Need one card to help come with the example. Okay, thank you. So the one that came out was the pure white light dragon from Orion. And what really popped out was act with truth and honesty. So let's say And then they showed me the throat chakra. Let's say you never speak up in situations. You see injustice coming, but you don't speak up. It could be, right? Maybe you'll catch like a cold or something. Maybe you'll get strep throat where you lose your voice and then you can't talk. It's just such silly things like that. So pay attention to your body and how things have manifested into your body. Not saying don't go to your doctor. Always go to your doctor first. Whoa, you came in sliding. Always go talk to your doctor. Get things figured out. You know, take care of your health, mind, body, and soul. But sometimes for myself, my doctors could never figure out what was wrong with me. And so I always had to go within. And then usually it was just a lot of energy stuck in a place. And so you had to work through it and release that. And once that kind of goes, an example I can say is someone who's trying to lose weight. And you don't lose weight, you can't lose weight. But you're also in a very high stress environment. And so that extra weight is a protective barrier from you and whoever else is meant to be. And so, you know, you diet, you go to doctors, you do all these things. But sometimes when you take yourself from the stressful situation and you no longer need that protection, that's when all the weight melts off you. It's, your body's really cool and it's always for protective. It's always protecting and it's always healing. So right now, what are you protecting yourself from and what are you healing from? They said that's good for today. We have much, much more we always want to talk about, but that's good for today. So apparently that's good for today, guys. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.